gets in, is at center court, and here we go from Tampa, Florida. The tip is controlled by Akron with a quick steal from Halligan.
Texas Tech, they start in the man-to-man. They'll trap sometimes.
Mahaffey peppers the paint. Out to Johnson. Johnson along the baseline, sweeps in, doesn't have enough. Ball's tipped around. Red Raiders with the board.
And right here, Red Raiders do a great job of pushing tempo. Obviously, they have dynamic guards that can play out of pick and roll, but they like the ball in the hands of Anderson. You're going to hear that name a lot.
Yeah, Christian Anderson, he wears number 4. He's got it right now. He's evolved from last year. Petty with a little head and shoulder fake. Distributes it inside. Bounce pass to Bamboye. And he reverses his field and lays it in.
And with the absence of JT Toppin, Bamboye's role is flourishing. He has to control the paint. He has to finish around the basket for Texas Tech to be successful.
Yeah, transfer from VCU. Ball's tipped around. Mahaffey picks it up. His leaner is no good. It just didn't go down. And there's Bamboye with the rebound.
That's a nice job, though, by Mahaffey to get the ball off the offensive rebound. Texas Tech is not a giant team. They're
Anderson fadeaway jumper, no good. Easy rebound pulled out by the Zips and Lyles. Down to the basket. They lead it. Ball swatted away. Bamboye's come out to play. Mahaffey didn't have a chance. Petty underneath. And he'll just reset this offense. Whole lot of pace right now. Watts inside, using his girth to nail it off the glass.
And Coach McCaslin said that Lawan Watts has to play physical. He has to continue to push tempo. He's doing that early, controlling the paint.
6'6", 230 pounds. He can throw his weight around in there if he wants to.
Mahaffey out along the perimeter looking for Johnson. Johnson will fire from out there. Shot clock under 10. Little hesitation into the paint. Heads to the basket. Off the glass, too strong. Another open possession for Akron. Atwell sets up for 3, and he traveled. Everything looked...
Replace JT Toppin, and you're not going to do that with just one man. I think it's the entire team, as Coach McCaslin said. Yes, it is his points, his double-doubles, but it's also his rim protection, his pick and roll, as well as his fight for this team.
Lyles underneath. Lyles doesn't get the first basket for the Zips. There's a lid on the rim right now. It's 4-0 Texas Tech. They're 0 for 5 from the floor. The other part of it, too, about JT Toppin is that it's his voice in the locker room and his determination, even after losses.
Well, he's a competitor, and you can't replace that competitive spirit.
Watts to Bamboye, and Bamboye has it blocked away.
And right there, Lyles doing a great job contesting the shot without fouling.
Zips still looking for their first basket. Lyles outside. He'll set up for 3. Good.
And that right there, that offensive possession is Akron Zips basketball. 5 out, pace, space. They have a center that has to pull your post player that's used to protecting the paint out to defend the 3.
And it's the first 3 for either team. It's not going to be the last 3 for either team. Watts working his way in. Using his shoulder to get some space. Shot clock at 5. Looks like he's not going to give up the basketball. Got some space, switched hands, and laid it in.
And if Texas Tech is going to be able to play one-on-one with that much time, Akron is not going to come in double.
And Mahaffey missed the bunny underneath. Anderson assessing. Here's Watts again.
You can't really double team because of all the three-point shooters.
Yeah, because they will do what John Gross says, a dagger 3s, kicking it out.
Well, you can't steal the ball. You can't steal the ball.
You can't steal
That's what Mahaffey did. Nice job.
Mahaffey, a veteran, transfer from Penn State and Ohio State to play with his brother. Into the paint, Scott can't get it to go. Boy, there's a lot of easy shots.
They're taking too many 2s. They're driving the ball to the basket. I think Texas Tech is sort of luring them in.
So uncharacteristic of their style. Anderson is yet to get off on the scoring track for Texas Tech. Little crossover. Hesitates at the rim, kicks it out.
Of course, start, but he's been willing to sacrifice and be unselfish for their rotations, and he's really having an impact on this team, guys.
Yeah, back-to-back, sixth man in the MAC. Here's Petty going right to the glass. Doesn't get it to fall as the shot clock was winding down. Scott also did that that game-winning shot like that. That's a beautiful drive to the basket. Game-winning shot like that in his hometown, which obviously was a dream come true for him to be able to do something like that.
Well, Scott told us that he received countless text messages, still has hundreds that he hasn't replied to, but that had to feel good knocking down that shot in front of all your friends and family.
Yep.
Petty knocks down that beautiful three.
Jalen Petty, the X factor, according to Grant McCaslin. He can create his own shot into the paint. Johnson can't get it to go, partially blocks.
And now Akron 1 of 7 inside of 5 feet to start this game. But you gotta not feel terrible. You're only down 4.
They're driving it, but they got to make some of those shots.
Petty kicks it out. Three-pointer from Atwell, short. Rebound by Mosley, and he's fouled going up, and he'll get 2 free.
9 guys, as we heard from AJ, that could start. And
Absolutely.
to me, there's a lot of finishing units. So not every time the starters are finishing these ball games.
Mosley underneath. Mosley tried to jam it. It's blocked away. He got it back and then kissed it off the glass. That was Eric Mahaffey who had the partial block. Scott. He'll get it back right at the logo, off the screen. Scott tried to keep his pivot foot. Fadeaway jumper is smooth.
I think they're making tougher shots than the ones they're missing.
Yeah, when that left his hand, I'm wondering, I don't know if he has the distance on it. Anderson quiet so far. Hands the ball off to Petty. Doing a little assessing. Anderson, good shot fake. Kicks it to the corner. Atwell for 3. It's good.
And that is one of the best catch and shoot three-point shooters in the nation. You'll see him do that time and time again if you let him catch the ball.
Yeah, he spent some time yesterday talking about his time at UNC Greensboro and Mike Jones and how much Mike Jones taught him to be a college basketball player. Mahaffey in the paint. Looked like he slipped for a moment. Gets the ball back to Scott. Shot clock at 5. Scott, separation, jumper is good. Slipped it off the side of the rim. That's a tough shot.
And that was a 3.
And right there, Scott just showing why he has the ball in his hands, being able to make and create plays for this fast-paced offense. I know we think it's Avari Johnson, but Scott has the ball in his hands a great deal.
Petty up top trying to answer, and he does. He rattles it home for Texas Tech. Well, it started slow. It's starting to pick up a little bit.
Petty has now made, over the last couple of games, 17 of his last 34 threes.
The #1 recruit out of the state of Washington. As we wind down toward the 11-minute mark, and you see what Akron has done since starting with only 1 made field goal. Scott, beautiful move underneath.
Kansas, at some point, Texas Tech is going to get in trouble if they can't stop that dribble penetration.
Well, I think they're depending and they're relying on their defense to make Scott make tough shots. But right now, he's just knocking down 3 in a row.
Practice leading into the NCAA tournament.
Coaches always love more time to practice. Players would prefer less.
Right. Akron with the basketball with a chance to cut into this lead. Scott. Three-pointer is good. Boy, he has come out firing.
And Scott off the bench, 10 points. Just doing and getting to whatever spots he wants. He looks comfortable.
And remember, his previous 2 NCAA games, he only scored 13 points combined. Anderson trying to answer for 3. Oh, over the top of Lyles.
And already we have 8 for 9 from beyond the arc. We are getting what we promised in the open.
Avari Johnson, they isolate him. They leave one-on-one defense. Backing his way in. Working against Anderson over the top. Anderson's hand sort of misdirected that.
Well, it did, but that's not really the Akron offense. They move the ball and move players. A little too much one-on-one right there.
Halfway through this first half. The 5 seed with a 4-point lead over the 12 seed. Anderson couldn't get control, got it back. Atwell, step back three is good. He is on fire also.
How big are these rims to start this? You talk about only missing 1-3 right now.
Well, they're pretty big from three. They're not very big from driving the ball.
No, you're right. That's a foul on Watts.
We're talking about the three-point shots, and this is, again, this is off the dribble. What a great step back. The defense just a step slow. And this is a situation where Anderson, he rises above a guy who's 5 inches taller than he is and buries it.
On the other side, three-pointer by Hardman is no good. Texas Tech 5 for its last 5. Petty feeds down low to Bamboye. Little double team action. Sweeps it up top for Watts. Watts for three. It's no good. Too strong. Ball tipped around. And Hardman takes it off the shoulder of Bamboye.
That was the gang rebound that Coach Gross was talking about.
Oh, another miss underneath. Report out now. Second shot is around the rim and out.
If you're Akron, you have to focus on making shots in the paint. Everyone not named Scott is only 2 for 11 from the field.
I got to dig in here on defense, too. Texas Tech starting to sneak away.
And there's the steal up top. There's the defense Dan was talking about. They go to the baseline. Extra pass to Hardman for three. No good. Off the front of the rim. And here's Anderson. Anderson, he's got speed. Anderson into the paint. Kicks it out for Atwell. They'll reset.
That is a great job by Johnson getting on top of Atwell before he could squeeze off that three.
Petty crosses over. Petty step back elbow J. It's good. Oh. Wow, is he good.
It must be something about that number 11. As Petty went to high school in Rainier, coached by my good friend and all NBA Jamal Crawford, Mr. Six Man. So that stroke looked very familiar.
And he likes him a lot, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves Petty. Said he is one of the toughest kids, competitive, and once hit 57 straight threes.
Amazing.
As the three goes down.
Yep, converts the three for Akron.
He was 4 for his last 22 coming into this game, and he's now knocked down 2.
Couple good night's sleep, Dan. That's
yeah. There you go. There you go.
It's a 6-point lead. Anderson bobbles the basketball up top. A couple near turnovers, and there is the near turnover that turns into an Akron offensive play. Lyles fighting his way to the corner. Three from the corner is no good. And Bamboye with the rebound.
Right here, if you're Texas Tech, and you're Anderson, who's going to have the ball in his hands. Akron has changed up their coverage. They're now doubling, putting 2 on the ball.
Well, he may have forced that three right there. He made one earlier from that spot. Evan Mahaffey up the floor, left side. Gives it up to his brother. It's stolen away.
You got to stay on him.
Three, yes, they left him wide open. He rattled it home.
And right there, Atwell shoots 45% from beyond the arc. Coach Gross begging his guys to get up in his space.
Johnson slices the defense. Now a triple team underneath. Leaves it for Mahaffey, and Mahaffey, little teardrop from Evan. Getting a chance to play with his brother, Eric. Eric comes off the bench for the Zips. Eric said about playing with his brother, he said it's the best thing you can think about, is having him with you. Atwell, step back three, open again. And a foul over the back.
But the Akron is 5 for 15 from 2, and that's what's really hurt them on the offensive end.
Scott is back in. Scott going to the basket. He's bumped along the lane. Second free throw is good.
And Akron has to be careful in these last 4 minutes to not let this game get out of control. They got down in their conference championship against Toledo. This is a different Texas Tech team.
Davari Johnson has the ball stolen away. Bryan picks it off, gets it to Atwell, who's playing with 2 fouls. Anderson stolen from behind, picked back up by Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is doing a great job pressuring Johnson.
And Watts, with his body control, gets the roll.
Young man Christian Anderson has felt his way into this game. Started off a little slower, but boy, the last 4 minutes he's gotten going.
Yeah, he's got 4 assists already too. Scott from the middle of the floor gives it up. He'll get it back. Mahaffey Little switch by Texas Tech. Bigger body on Scott. Mahaffey working against Watts. Shot clock is at 4. Mahaffey, pull up Jay, it's good.
Well, that helps, but now they got to tighten it up on the defensive end. Texas Tech has been getting really good looks.
Anderson will fire for 3, no good. Little heat check for him. An open possession gives Akron a chance on the offensive end.
Akron has missed Amari Lyles on a rim run. Several possessions, doing a great job, big fella, getting to the rim.
So they kick it out for Lyles, blocked away. Also have to get Tavari Johnson going, as Anderson will have the basketball in his hand as we begin the second half. Chance to move on to the second round of the Midwest region. Watts away from the basket, up top for Atwell, extra pass for Petty for 3. It's good, right out of the gates.
They've got 3 guys on this team who've made more than 63s, and Petty is one of them.
And again, just a freshman, Petty. He and Anderson to combine for the most 3s for a tandem in college basketball. Lyles, his shot is off the mark. Mahaffey knocked it out of bounds. 43-35. I think Mahaffey wanted for a moment for them to take a look at that to see who touched it last.
And my favorite was the no-look eye contact by Coach Gross telling him to get back on defense. He's not challenging that this early in the second half.
Watts again skips it to Atwell this time for 3. It's good. Back-to-back 3s. And it's good. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. We're here in Tampa, where Candace once won a national championship for Tennessee.
We won't say how many years ago.
Off the glass, Scott settles things down for the Zips.
Well, they battled their way back in the last 5 minutes of the first half, and then it just all slipped away here early.
Right.
They've got to dig in on defense.
Yeah, down 11, Texas Tech with the basketball, got up to a good start. Bamboye bounce pass to Watts, and the big man, Bamboye, lost it out of bounds. It's going to be Akron basketball.
In textbook.
Must be something about this rim. Right?
On this side,
yeah.
with 2s. Not with 3s, just with 2s. Right there, great pass by Bamboye. Just Watts can't get the high-low to finish. Texas Tech's trying to exploit Watts' size on that possession.
Johnson passed it to himself. They say it may have been deflected. Mahaffey along the baseline, hands it to Scott. Tavari Johnson's been quiet so far for Akron. Scott has not kept his pivot foot, slips it to Mahaffey. Inside for Lyles, and he's fouled going up by Bamboye.
In this building.
Watts to the corner. Three-pointer is no good. Mahaffey way up there with the rebound, and he's fouled. That's not a good foul by Watts. That'll be his second. Well, Candace, just in case you didn't remember, we figured we'd flash it on back.
She said she didn't want the year.
I know, and then in bright print, it's 2007,
Well,
2008.
It's so easy to find it now. We just wanted to help people out. We wanted them to get back to the game.
But, fellas, in all seriousness, the NCAA tournament, this never gets old. I don't care if you're playing in it, if you're commentating. The energy in the building in March, and especially if you could make it to April, it's uncomparable.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric Curry before, one of the officials, as the shot clock is under 5, and Scott, whoa, what a finish. He is athletic, I'll tell you. Anyway, Eric Curry was saying the same thing as an official. He says, my 19th one, and you just never lose the feeling. All right, so now it's down to a 7-point game. Scott has put this offense on his shoulders for the most part. Watts, slow post, and he was over the top of a smaller Scott.
Well, it's the mismatch, but I think you have to live with that if you're Akron. You got to get rid of those 3-point shooters.
Well, Scott's playing the guard position on one end, but guarding the 4 and 5 on the other.
And Johnson finally is able to get one to rattle home. It's only his second field goal, first of the half.
Sometimes as a scorer, all you have to do is just see the easy one go down, and the game changes.
Little boost of confidence. They hedge out toward midcourt. Petty covered up top. Mosley bounce pass to Watts. Oh, the big men getting involved.
Really good movement by Texas Tech.
Yeah, moving without the basketball. Johnson just made one, backing in against the freshman Petty. Goes to the corner. Mahaffey from the wing for three, no good. Christian Anderson in the first half, 7 points. He does have 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Watts lost it for a moment. Little jab step. Shot clock under 10.
Side is totally cleared.
It is wide open. Ball punched out. Johnson, he's going to peel it back. Atwell was there to cover up defensively.
Well, whether Atwell's there or not, that's one you got to take to the basket,
Yeah.
I think.
Johnson has it swatted away by Mosley.
McCaslin knows that Anderson has the ability to change this game, and I think it's a nice stern talking to.
It was a nice stern talking to. A little counseling. Off the inbounds, Johnson outside to Lyles. Back to Johnson, who just got a field goal a moment ago. Hasn't converted from beyond the arc. Shot clock is under 5. They kick it to the wing. Scott for 3. It's good. He splashed it home from the sidelines.
An efficient day.
With 5 seconds
Scott.
left on the shot clock. How do you leave that guy open?
Scott and Lyles have 34 points. For Scott, it's his 4th 20-point game of the season. Watts thought about it, covered by Johnson. There's help from Lyles. Extra pass. Atwell, and he's fouled.
But Atwell
doesn't
now.
take a lot of twos, but obviously Akron running him off the three-point line and doing a good job putting it on the floor.
Well, he has taken 273 threes prior to this game. Only 38 free throws.
Wow. Lyles will check out with 3 fouls.
And that's big for Akron. I wonder how much time Coach Gross is going to give Amari Lyles on the bench, as he's carrying a heavy load on the offensive end for Akron.
The substitution brings Eric Mahaffey into the ball game for the Zips. Johnson off the screen. Up top for Young. Shot clock winding down to 10. Little hesitation along the baseline. Try to reverse his field. Can't convert. The rebound is tipped out into the hands of Watts, who's fouled from behind. For a chance to move on to the second round of the Midwest region. Akron, by the way, has missed 8 layups in this game. Mosley didn't miss that layup for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech's philosophy, they're going to play from the inside out. JT Toppin or not, they're doing a good job of punishing Akron, putting it inside, and then using that to generate kick-out threes as well.
Yeah, JT Toppin tore his ACL 7 games ago. He had surgery this past Tuesday, and there's the turnover forced by Texas Tech. Anderson into the open floor. Anderson has it stolen away by Scott, got it back, goes up and slams it home.
How did he do that?
And the lead is to 11 for the Red Raiders. Mahaffey hard off the glass, it's good. And a little pressure now by Akron off the inbounds. We haven't seen the 1-3-1 today from Akron.
Well, every time they battle back in the game, then Texas Tech has a little run and pulls away again.
Yeah, 4 straight makes for Texas Tech. Make it 5 straight makes.
And they are playing through their duo of post players in Mosley and Watts, possession after possession.
Johnson leaves it inside for Mahaffey, and he's fouled by Watts. He'll get the bucket to count. 3rd foul on Watts.
Right here, you talk about post play. Hang around the rim, your guards will find you. Petty, Anderson, it doesn't matter. And then again, right here, Anderson getting the ball back in transition, getting up. Fast break, they run sparingly, I would say. But Anderson doing a great job of getting back in this game after coach's conversation.
Absolutely. His counseling. By the way, Lyles has just checked back into the game. He sat less than 2 minutes.
Well, he's got to play.
Yeah, this is it. It's win or go home. And Mahaffey trying to get closer to his season average. He converts that one.
Well, Amari has to be careful to not pick up that 4th foul. Has to be smart as Akron goes back into a 2-2-1. Little token press.
The foul trouble for both teams. 3 players with 3 fouls.
And they're back into the zone.
Petty splits the defense. Petty has it partially blocked by Lyles. The ball is loose, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Akron basketball.
The hardest thing out of a zone is to rebound. Obviously, Akron, a tall task. Zone gives up threes, doing a good job making Petty drive. That's his impact right there.
Boy, that's a great look, too. You saw the ball was still going up when it was deflected. And now Scott will walk it up the floor. Goes to Lyles. Bamboye he fouls him. Just say it. And somebody else bakes it. Henderson will bring the basketball up. This game is still teetering in the balance with 11:45 to play. And there's the zone by Akron.
Well, Texas Tech early dominating without separating.
Anderson over the top of the zone.
Anderson calms things down in this game, but Texas Tech, you wouldn't think, if you didn't look at the score, you would think Texas Tech was up by a lot, but Akron hanging around.
Extra pass to the corner to Young. Young runner short. And the rebound by Mahaffey. Mahaffey caught underneath. Swings it to the corner. Lyles going right to the basket. Foul going up, and he'll get 2 more free throws. 55, 11:14 to play.
Well, it's been the inside combination of Mosley and Watts that has been critical for Texas Tech so far today.
And by the way, Bamboye is out with 4, but Watts does have 3 also. Atwell to Anderson. Anderson looking to get it to the middle. Does so to Watts. Watts fakes to his left, goes up, gets his man off his feet. It's good.
And Watts knows he can take his time against Lyles, who knows he can't pick up that foul.
And knows that it's unlikely he's going to get a double team.
Mahaffey to Young, nearly stolen away by Petty. He did get a hand on it. No backcourt. Young slices through the defense. No look pass down to Lyles.
You talk about playing with your eyes. Young with the look in the corner, drop off to his big fella.
I actually was looking to the corner too. I was kind of biting on it. 64-57. Anderson covered up by Mahaffey up top.
Back to man-to-man.
Scott picks up Anderson. High post, trying to do a little high-low. They've got an advantage on the passer, and Watts is going to get called for the offensive foul. That rest of it, Akron goes back to its man-to-man defense. Anderson waiting for the screen for Atwell. Working against Young. Swings it. Bryant into the paint. Got pushed outside the paint with 5 on the shot clock. Bounce past Atwell. What a look, and it's a goaltending. Basket went through anyway. That was an awesome look by Bryant.
He did a nice job to keep his head there and not worry about the 5-second count. A lot of guys would have panicked.
Here's Tavari Johnson. He only has 4 points. Let's see if he can try to facilitate some offense.
And that's a great word. He hadn't been able to create anything for anybody, himself included.
And Lyles fumbled it. It's picked up by Texas Tech. The tie-up on the floor, and it's loose again. Atwell has it. Anderson for 3. Too strong. And that ball is loose and out of bounds. It remains for a moment. Musime Kamali is in the ball game just for the 2nd time in today's game. Texas Tech winds the shot clock under 10. Anderson pull up Jay. Again too strong. And Musime Kamali pulls down the rebound.
That's a great job. He's the one who was defending out on the perimeter, and he ran all the way in to get the rebound.
Scott crossover. Mahaffey. Scott to the baseline. Fadeaway jumper short. And it's saved by Akron. Shot clock does not reset. Mahaffey into the paint. Mahaffey going up, and he's fouled. He'll get 2 free throws. 67-62 with 7:45 to play. See the free throws this half, as Dan mentioned. Akron 10 for 10. Johnson has been held in check. He averages 20. He's been held to 4. Scott has not been held in check. He's been their weapon. He and Lyles. Scott goes to the basket. Scott skips it to Lyles. Lyles for 3. No good. And Atwell with the rebound. Here comes Petty leaning it down low. Mosley jams it home.
And I understand we talk a lot about the guards, but the posts have been the impactful players of this game, especially on Texas Tech, doing all the little things, running the floor, playing out of the pocket pass.
Yeah, you're right. They've been balanced on every end. Lyles sweeps in, reverses his field, and lays it in. It's not as thunderous as that running dunk, but it does the job.
It does, and Texas Tech has done a really nice job getting out in transition.
Wind down toward the 6.5-minute mark here in the second half. The winner will face the winner of our next game. Iowa and Clemson. Anderson, little head and shoulder shot fake from the baseline. Its jumper's good.
Boy, how good is Anderson? I mean, he took the bump and he still went straight up and knocked it down.
Well, he plays at his own pace.
And there's
never out of control.
Petty running the floor with Anderson. Wants the alley-oop, and he's fouled going up.
Akron only with 8 turnovers, but 15 points in transition for the Raiders.
Texas Tech has smothered Tavari Johnson.
Big time.
That's been the point of attack for Akron all year long. And that's just a hard thing to deal with if you're the Zips.
And now with him on the bench, they had Atwell on Scott for a moment. Mahaffey puts it on the deck. Mahaffey feeds the front of the rim, no good. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Texas Tech basketball. 2 fists up in the air for Grant McCaslin, who we mentioned, you know, without JT Toppin, they didn't have their bailout guy. They didn't have their leader. He's an All-American. But they're trying to develop a different personality without JT Toppin.
But there have been signs for this Texas Tech team that even though they were missing their All-American, they can still compete. They went into Iowa State as Petty knocks down that 3 and beat Iowa State in Iowa State. And so this is a capable team. 7 straight possessions where Texas Tech has scored. We're 4 minutes left here in the second half, and it's a 16-point lead. Make it 14 points as Young gets it off the glass. I have to tell you, watching Petty for the first time in person, the freshman,
he's really impressive.
He's really impressive. The film doesn't give him justice. Step away jumper, it's good.
Oh, he must have heard you talking about him. His stop on a dime.
Well, that's 21 points. As we said, he's just a freshman, but that is a season high for him.
Well, what a combination. You have Anderson and you have Atwell and you have Petty. That's hard to guard.
And they force another turnover. Petty to Atwell. And now they'll run a little clock, at least for the moment. Their fan base is coming to their feet behind the bench, and there's a steal by Mahaffey. Young for 3, short. And out of bounds.
Approach today.
Yes, Mosley averages 4 points a game. And your offensive approach, you can get the ball inside when you've got 3-point snipers out on the perimeter that force the defense to get out there and cover them.
Yeah, by the way, they're 13 of 16 on 2s in this second half. Trying to split this 1-3-1 defense. Petty for 3 from the corner. Exclamation point.
Boy, does he jump on his jump shot.
Actually, you're right. That is a jump shot.
In the air on that jump shot.
24 points for the freshman. Under 2 minutes to play. Lyles gets control. Lyles then bobbles it. He'll go right up and lay it in. I think Texas Tech is okay with that.
Well, you run some time off the clock,
right,
and they make it 2, and they're down 17. Yeah, you're okay with that.
Does Akron have to be a little more pressure-oriented with 1:30 left? I mean, they're down 17.
I think this is a tall task for Akron.
Right.
Obviously, you want to make Texas Tech shoot a quick look, but Texas Tech having dynamic guards that are able to do, I was about to say, do this. That shot looked good.
You were trying to have it right on cue, but they reset it to 20. It's an Akron team that's won 10 consecutive games, 19 of 20. John Gross, he and his brother Travis Steele, I mean, they were a heck of a story in the MAC this year as Anderson converts. Under a minute to play. Scott for 3, no good. Rebound by Texas Tech, and they're going to basically let this last minute play out. They celebrated a lot last year for Texas Tech. It's a little different personality now without J.